What if I told you that your blood sugar problem isn't just about sugar? What if the reason you feel tired every day, the reason your hands tingle at night, the reason your mind feels foggy even when you're doing everything right, isn't because you failed? It's because your body is missing something no one ever told you about. Doctors say, cut back on sugar, take your meds, exercise more. But almost no one explains this part. Without the right nutrients, insulin doesn't work properly, nerves weaken, energy drops, and complications creep in quietly, silently, over time. And here's the shocking truth. Most people with diabetes are low on this one vitamin, and they have no idea. Fixing that gap can change how you feel, how your nerves behave, and how well your body handles blood sugar. So take a deep breath, relax. And let's talk about the first and most overlooked nutrient every diabetic needs to understand. Key nutrient number 1, vitamin B6, the silent protector. Vitamin B6 doesn't get the attention it deserves. It's not flashy, it's not trendy, and you won't see many people talking about it online. But for people with diabetes, vitamin B6 is absolutely critical. Here's why. When blood sugar stays high, your kidneys work overtime. They try to flush out excess glucose, and while doing that, they also flush out vitamin B6. So even if you're eating normally, your body may be losing B6 faster than you can replace it. On top of that, diabetes creates chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. That forces your body to burn through even more B6 just to repair daily damage. And it gets worse. High insulin levels interfere with how B6 is activated inside your cells. So even if B6 is present, your body may not be able to use it properly. Now add medications into the picture. Drugs like metformin, certain blood pressure medications, some cholesterol medications. All slowly deplete vitamin B6 over time. This is why so many diabetics are low on B6 without ever realizing it, why a B6 deficiency is so easy to miss. Here's the tricky part. A vitamin B6 deficiency doesn't always scream for attention. It whispers. You might notice constant tiredness, brain fog, irritability, mood swings, trouble focusing. You assume it's stress, or age, or just diabetes. But underneath, your nervous system is struggling. One of the earliest and most important warning signs of low B6 is nerve trouble. Tingling, burning, numbness in the hands or feet. Sound familiar? That's because vitamin B6 is essential for nerve repair, nerve signaling, nerve protection. Without it, nerve damage progresses faster and heals slower. Muscle weakness and poor coordination can also appear because nerves and muscles rely on B6 to communicate properly. Your skin may become dry, flaky, easily irritated. You might notice mouth sores, cracks at the corners of your lips, getting sick more often. These are all subtle signs your immune system is under strain. In more severe cases, low B6 can lead to anemia, causing dizziness, pale skin, shortness of breath, and still, many people never connect the dots. How low B6 affects the entire body. Vitamin B6 doesn't work in just one place. It works everywhere. 1. Nerves and pain. B6 helps build neurotransmitters that calm nerve firing. Without it, neuropathy worsens. Pain feels sharper, recovery slows. This is why nerve pain often feels relentless in diabetics. It's not just sugar damage, it's nutrient loss. 2. Blood sugar control. At the cellular level, vitamin B6 is essential for glucose metabolism. It helps break down glycogen, the stored form of glucose, so energy is released smoothly instead of spiking and crashing. Without enough B6, blood sugar becomes harder to control. Insulin resistance increases. Energy levels swing wildly. You feel tired after eating, then hungry again too soon. 3. Mood, anxiety, and brain fog. Vitamin B6 is required to produce serotonin, dopamine, GABA. These chemicals regulate mood, motivation, calmness. Low B6 can cause anxiety, irritability, low mood, depression. This isn't weakness, it's chemistry. 4. Heart and blood vessels. B6 helps lower homocysteine, an amino acid that damages arteries when it builds up. High homocysteine increases the risk of high blood pressure, heart attacks, strokes. When B6 is low, blood vessels stiffen, circulation worsens, healing slows. For diabetics, this combination is dangerous. 5. Eyes and vision. Your eyes rely on tiny blood vessels. Vitamin B6 helps protect them from inflammation and damage. Low B6 increases the risk of faster progression of diabetic retinopathy. Vision problems. Eye strain. 6. Kidneys. The kidneys are especially vulnerable in diabetes. B6 helps reduce inflammation inside kidney tissue. When levels drop, kidney stress increases. Long-term damage progresses faster. 7. Energy and oxygen delivery. Vitamin B6 is required to produce hemoglobin, the molecule that carries oxygen in your blood. Without enough oxygen, cells tire faster, healing slows, fatigue becomes constant. This is why low B6 feels like walking through life with half a battery. 8. Hormones, fertility, and libido. B6 plays a major role in hormone balance. In men, low B6 can reduce testosterone, lower sperm quality. In women, irregular cycles, worse PMS, hormonal imbalance. Libido also drops because B6 affects dopamine and circulation. Best food sources of vitamin B6. Food is always the first line of defense. Here are some of the best natural sources. Chickpeas, 1 cup cooked, provides 55% of daily needs. Beef liver, are 50% per 100 grams. Wild-caught salmon, more 40% per 100 grams. Turkey, 40% per 100 grams. Sunflower seeds, up to 30% per ounce. These foods don't just raise B6 levels, they support nerves, immunity, metabolism. Gourmet, high-end B6-rich meals. If you enjoy refined meals, B6 doesn't have to be boring. Miso-glazed salmon with chickpea puree delivers over 90% of daily B6 plus omega-3s. French beef liver pâté with roasted garlic potatoes, around 85% of daily B6 plus iron and B12. Mediterranean chickpea and grilled lamb stew with saffron, roughly 80% of daily B6 with complete amino acids. Nutrition can be elegant and therapeutic. When food isn't enough, supplements. Sometimes diet alone can't keep up, especially with diabetes. The best form of vitamin B6 is P5P, pyridoxal 5-phosphate. This is the active form your body can use immediately. High-quality options include Thorne Research P5P, 33 mg. Pure encapsulations, vitamin B6, 50 mg. Most diabetics do well with 25-50 mg per day. Higher doses should always be discussed with a healthcare provider. What makes B6 deficiency worse? Be careful with refined grains, white bread, pasta, high sugar diets, alcohol, smoking. These drain B6 faster. Certain medications also reduce B6 levels over time, making replenishment essential. Why vitamin B6 is a game changer for diabetics. Vitamin B6 helps insulin work better, nerves heal faster, blood vessels stay flexible, energy remains stable, mood stay balanced. It doesn't replace medication. It supports your body so medication can work properly. And that's the part most people never hear. Diabetes isn't just about control, it's about support. When your body finally gets what it's been missing, things begin to feel lighter, more energy, less pain, clearer thinking. Vitamin B6 may not be famous, but for diabetics, it's one of the most important nutrients you can restore. If this helped you, please subscribe to support our work, and stay with us, because the next nutrient might surprise you even more. Key nutrient number 2, vitamin E, the cellular shield diabetics are burning through. Now that you understand how vitamin B6 quietly supports nerves, mood, and blood sugar, let's move to the next nutrient that works like armor inside your body. This one doesn't just help you feel better. It protects you from damage you can't feel yet, and that's what makes it dangerous to ignore. We're talking about vitamin E. Why vitamin E is so critical for people with diabetes. Vitamin E is your body's natural shield. It protects cells, nerves, blood vessels, eyes, kidneys from one of diabetes' biggest enemies, oxidative stress. Here's what that means in simple terms. When blood sugar stays high, it creates unstable molecules called free radicals. These molecules damage nerves, weaken blood vessels, injure organs, accelerate aging, speed up complications. Vitamin E's job is to neutralize them before they can cause harm. But here's the problem. Diabetics burn through vitamin E faster than normal. High blood sugar, more oxidative stress, more vitamin E used up, more vitamin E used up, deficiency. And because vitamin E is fat soluble, it needs healthy fat metabolism to be absorbed properly. In diabetes, fat metabolism often isn't efficient, so even if you're eating vitamin E, your body may not be absorbing or storing enough of it. Why vitamin E deficiency is so hard to detect. Vitamin E deficiency doesn't usually show up overnight. It creeps in slowly. The early signs are subtle: muscle weakness, trouble with balance or coordination, mild nerve discomfort. You might think, I'm just tired, I'm getting older. It's normal with diabetes, but underneath, your nerves are losing protection. As levels drop further, symptoms can intensify: tingling, burning, numbness in hands and feet, worsening neuropathy. Your skin may become dry, irritated, slow to heal. Cuts take longer to close, bruises linger, vision may start to feel off, difficulty seeing at night, eye strain, blurry focus, and your immune system weakens. You catch colds more easily, infections linger longer. None of this feels dramatic at first. That's why vitamin E deficiency is so often missed. What low vitamin E does to the body over time: vitamin E touches nearly every major system. When it runs low, the effects ripple outward. 1. Nervous system and neuropathy. Vitamin E protects the fatty coating around nerves. Without it, nerve signals slow down, pain signals become exaggerated, nerve damage accelerates. That's why neuropathy often worsens even when blood sugar is under control. Sugar isn't the only issue. Protection matters too. 2. Blood vessels and circulation. Vitamin E keeps blood vessels flexible, smooth, resistant to inflammation. It prevents cholesterol from oxidizing, which is a major cause of plaque buildup. Low vitamin E means stiffer arteries, poor circulation, cold hands and feet, higher blood pressure. Over time, this raises the risk of heart disease, stroke, peripheral artery disease. 3. Eyes and vision protection. Your eyes are filled with delicate blood vessels. Vitamin E helps protect them from oxidative damage. When levels drop, retinal damage accelerates. Diabetic retinopathy progresses faster. Vision loss risk increases. This happens quietly, often before symptoms appear. 4. Kidneys and inflammation. The kidneys filter enormous amounts of blood. In diabetes, that filtering process creates stress. Vitamin E helps reduce inflammation, protect kidney tissue, slow damage progression. Low levels remove that protection, allowing damage to build faster. 5. Fertility, hormones, and libido. Vitamin E has long been known as a fertility vitamin. In men, supports sperm quality, protects sperm. DNA, improves circulation. Low levels can reduce fertility and libido. In women, helps regulate hormones, supports healthy cycles, reduces oxidative stress in reproductive tissue. Poor circulation also affects sexual function in both sexes. 6. Immune defense. Vitamin E strengthens immune cell membranes. Without it, immune cells become fragile, infections last longer, recovery slows. For diabetics, this can mean more frequent infections, slower wound healing, higher complication risk. What vitamin E does at the cellular level. This is where vitamin E truly shines. At the microscopic level, vitamin E stabilizes cell membranes, protects fats inside cells, prevents chain reactions of damage. Think of it as a fire extinguisher. One free radical can trigger thousands more. Vitamin E stops that chain reaction. It also improves insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, helps glucose enter cells more efficiently. And here's something most people don't know. Vitamin E helps regenerate other antioxidants, especially vitamin C. So when vitamin E is low, your entire antioxidant defense system weakens. Cells age faster, damage accumulates, complications accelerate. Best natural food sources of vitamin E. The good news? Vitamin E is abundant in whole foods if you choose wisely. Top sources include sunflower seeds, 1 ounce provides hours and 66% of daily needs. Almonds, about 48% per ounce. Hazelnuts, around 28% per ounce. Cooked spinach, roughly 20% per cup. Avocados, about 15% per medium fruit. plus healthy fats for absorption. These foods also support heart health, blood sugar stability, inflammation control, gourmet vitamin E-rich meals. Nutrition doesn't have to feel clinical. Here are refined options that nourish deeply. Mediterranean grilled sea bass with almond herb crust delivers over 70% of daily vitamin E, plus omega-3s for heart health. Japanese roasted duck breast with hazelnut miso glaze. Around 65% of daily needs, rich, satisfying, antioxidant dense. French avocado and sunflower seed tartare with truffle oil. About 60% of daily vitamin E. Luxurious and deeply nourishing food can heal and still feel like pleasure. When supplements make sense, for many diabetics, food alone isn't enough. If you supplement, quality matters. The best form is natural vitamin E, D-alpha tocopherol. It's better absorbed than synthetic forms. High-quality options include Pure Encapsulations Vitamin E 400 IU. Now Foods Vitamin E 400 IU includes mixed tocopherols. Most diabetics do well with 200-400 IU per day. Important note, very high doses can thin the blood. Always consult a healthcare provider if you're on medication. Habits that deplete vitamin E faster. Some modern habits quietly drain vitamin E. Refined vegetable oils, soybean, corn oil, diets high in refined carbs and sugar, alcohol consumption, very low-fat diets, even cooking matters. High heat destroys vitamin E. Light, steaming, or raw consumption preserves it best. Why vitamin E is non-negotiable for diabetics. Vitamin E protects nerves, preserves circulation, defends the eyes, supports kidneys, reduces inflammation, helps insulin work better. It doesn't replace medication. It protects your body so medication has a chance to work, and that protection compounds over time. Closing, calm, reassuring, emotional. Diabetes doesn't just wear the body down from the outside, it erodes protection from the inside. Vitamin E helps rebuild that shield. When cells feel safer, nerves calm down, inflammation eases, healing improves. If your blood sugar feels harder to manage, your nerve pain has worsened, or your skin and energy feel depleted, this might be one of the missing pieces. Stay with us, because the next nutrient plays a powerful role in immunity, healing, and blood vessel strength, and it's one of the easiest to restore. Absolutely. Here is Keynote 2, Vitamin E, rewritten as a full, flowing speech, no headings, no breaks, calm and emotional, designed for voiceover, ending with a strong emotional conclusion and call to action. It continues naturally from Keynote 1 and keeps the listener emotionally engaged all the way through. Now that you understand how vitamin B6 quietly supports your nerves, mood, and blood sugar, let's talk about the next nutrient that works in a completely different way. This one doesn't just help you feel better today. It protects you from damage that builds silently over time. Damage you often don't feel until it's already serious. This is where vitamin E comes in. Think of vitamin E as your body's natural shield. Every single day, your cells are under attack. High blood sugar creates oxidative stress, which means unstable molecules are constantly trying to damage your nerves, your blood vessels, your eyes, your kidneys, and even your heart. In people without diabetes, the body can usually keep up. But with diabetes, that damage happens faster, more often, and more intensely. And vitamin E is one of the main nutrients your body uses to defend itself. Here's the problem most people don't realize. If you have diabetes, you burn through vitamin E faster than normal. High blood sugar creates more oxidative stress, and oxidative stress uses up vitamin E. On top of that, vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it needs healthy fat metabolism to be absorbed properly. But diabetes often disrupts fat metabolism, so even when vitamin E is present in the diet, the body may not absorb or store enough of it. The result is a slow, silent deficiency that keeps getting worse. What makes this especially dangerous is how subtle the symptoms can be at first. Vitamin E deficiency doesn't usually show up with loud warning signs. It whispers. You might notice muscle weakness or feeling a little unsteady. Maybe your coordination feels off, or your legs feel heavier than they used to. Over time, nerve symptoms can worsen. Tingling, burning, or numbness in the hands and feet may become more intense. Neuropathy can feel sharper and more persistent, even when your blood sugar numbers look decent. Your skin may start to tell the story too. Dryness, irritation, slow healing, and lingering bruises are often early signs that your cells are losing protection. Cuts take longer to close. Infections hang around longer than they should. Your immune system simply doesn't feel as strong. Vision can also quietly change. Trouble seeing at night, eye strain, or blurry focus may begin to appear. Vitamin E plays a major role in protecting the tiny blood vessels in the retina, and when levels drop, damage can progress faster, especially in diabetics. Over time, low vitamin E affects nearly every major system in the body. In the nervous system, it protects the fatty coating around nerves. Without it, nerve signals slow down and become distorted. Pain increases, healing slows. That's one reason neuropathy can worsen even when blood sugar is under control. Sugar isn't the only issue. Protection matters too. In the cardiovascular system, vitamin E keeps blood vessels flexible and reduces inflammation. It prevents cholesterol from oxidizing, which is one of the first steps toward plaque buildup. When vitamin E runs low, arteries stiffen, circulation worsens, and the risk of heart disease and stroke rises. Cold hands and feet, poor circulation, and rising blood pressure can all be connected to this loss of protection. Your kidneys also rely heavily on vitamin E. Filtering blood creates stress, especially in diabetes. Vitamin E helps calm inflammation and protect kidney tissue. Without it, damage can accumulate faster, increasing the risk of long-term kidney complications. Even fertility and hormones are affected. Vitamin E has long been associated with reproductive health. In men, low levels can reduce sperm quality and circulation, impacting fertility and libido. In women, vitamin E supports hormone balance and protects reproductive tissues from oxidative stress. When circulation suffers, sexual function can decline in both men and women, often without anyone connecting it to nutrient loss. At the cellular level, vitamin E acts like armor. It stabilizes cell membranes, protects essential fats inside cells, and stops chain reactions of damage before they spread. One free radical can trigger thousands more. Vitamin E stops that cascade. It also helps improve insulin sensitivity by reducing inflammation, making it easier for glucose to enter cells. And here's something most people never hear. Vitamin E helps regenerate other antioxidants, especially vitamin C. When vitamin E is low, your entire antioxidant defense system weakens. Cells age faster, damage accumulates, complications accelerate. The good news is that vitamin E is abundant in whole foods if you know where to look. Sunflower seeds are one of the richest sources. Almonds and hazelnuts provide powerful doses along with healthy fats. Cooked spinach offers a solid plant-based option, and avocados not only supply vitamin E but also the fats needed for proper absorption. These foods don't just raise vitamin E levels, they support heart health, blood sugar stability, and inflammation control at the same time. If you enjoy refined meals, vitamin E doesn't have to come from boring food. Mediterranean grilled fish with an almond herb crust, roasted duck with a hazelnut glaze, or avocado dishes paired with seeds and healthy oils can all deliver powerful antioxidant support while still feeling satisfying and enjoyable. Nutrition doesn't have to feel like punishment. It can feel like care. For many diabetics, however, food alone may not be enough. That's where supplements can help. The most effective form is natural vitamin E, labeled as D-alpha tocopherol. This form is better absorbed than synthetic versions. Most people do well with 200 to 400 IU per day, but higher doses should always be discussed with a healthcare provider, especially if you're taking medications that affect blood clotting. It's also important to understand what drains vitamin E faster. Diets high in refined carbs and sugar increase oxidative stress. Processed vegetable oils like soybean and corn oil worsen inflammation. Alcohol reduces your ability to store and use vitamin E. Very low-fat diets can also backfire, since vitamin E needs healthy fats to be absorbed. Even cooking methods matter. High heat destroys vitamin E, while light steaming or raw preparation preserves it. Vitamin E doesn't replace medication. It does something just as important. It protects your body so medication has a chance to work. It supports nerves so pain doesn't escalate. It keeps blood vessels flexible so circulation doesn't collapse. It shields your eyes, kidneys, and heart from damage that builds quietly over time. Diabetes is not just about control, it's about protection. And when your cells finally feel safer, everything begins to change. Nerves calm down, inflammation eases, healing improves, energy feels steadier, the body stops fighting itself so hard. If your blood sugar feels harder to manage, if nerve pain has been creeping in, if your skin feels drier or your energy feels lower than it should, This may be one of the missing pieces no one ever explained to you. If this message helped you even a little, please take a moment to subscribe. It truly supports this work and allows us to keep sharing information that actually makes a difference. And if you know someone living with diabetes, share this with them. Sometimes one missing nutrient, one small change, can quietly change the direction of someone's health journey. Stay with us because the next nutrient plays a powerful role in immunity, healing, and blood vessel strength, and it's one of the easiest to restore.